Let's take a look at number 39 on our calculator first, and then we'll look at it using Gaussian elimination. So we got 13x minus 5y equals 4, and negative 2x plus 7y is equal to 0. Now it's a linear system of equations, so we're going to use RREF. Get all the x's and y's on one side, numbers on the other side, drop your x's, y's, and equals, and keep the numbers in their signs. So we got 13, negative 5, 4, negative 2, 7, and 0. And let's put this in our calculator. So I'm going to exit out. I'm in graph mode still, so second mode. And I'll go to my matrix menu, second, x and negative 1. I want to left arrow over to edit, and do enter on A, and then do 2 enter, 3 enter. And we got 13 enter, negative 5 enter, 4 enter, negative 2 enter, 7 enter, and 0 enter. Make sure you exit out, do a second mode, and now we're going to go through our REF process. So do second x to negative 1. That's actually an inverse button. Right arrow to math, up arrow to RREF. Press enter on it. Go back into my matrix menu, do enter on A, and enter again. Now we had two equations, two variables. So if we look at our first 2 by 2 matrix, you should see a diagonal 1 zeros over else, which we do. That tells you it worked. Now these are decimals, and I want to change those to fractions. So I do math, enter, enter. And that would give us our answers. So we have 28 over 81. And we have 28 over 81. So let's see which one that matches. 28 over 81, 8 over 81. Looks like B is in Bill. Like that. Let's go check that, and then we'll do Gaussian elimination. So 39B. And that checks. Okay, so Gaussian elimination. Now I'm specifically going to do Gauss-Jordan elimination. I'm going to do the entire process. So 13x minus 5y equals 4. And negative 2x plus 7y is equal to 0. Now we want to write down the matrix goes along with that. So I got 13, negative 5, 4, negative 2, 7, and 0. We start with this number right here. We want to get a diagonal 1 zeros over else. So first thing we do is we get a 1 there. Well, if I take row 1, divide by 13, that's going to give me my new row 1. Well, 13 divided by 13 is 1. Negative 5 divided by 13 is negative 5 thirteenths. 4 divided by 13 is 4 thirteenths. And row 2 still the same. Next thing is we want to get a 0 here. So we're going to multiply row 1 by a number and then add it to here to get a 0. You look at this 1 and you ask yourself, what times the 1 that then added negative 2 would give me 0? Well, if we multiply 2 times 1, 2 times 1 is 2 plus negative 2 gives us 0. So we're going to take 2 times row 1 and we'll add that to row 2, and that's going to give us our new row 2. Well, 2 times 1 is 2 plus a negative 2 is 0. 2 times negative 5 thirteenths. I'm going to do my scratch work over here. 2 times negative 5 thirteenths, and I want to add that to 7. It should be a negative 5 thirteenths. That gives us negative 10 thirteenths plus 7. This is a mixed number. I'll take 13 times 7. That gives me 91, and minus 10 gives me 81 thirteenths. Let's see, 1, 2, 91, yeah, 81 thirteenths. Then I'm going to take 2 times 4/13. Actually, I can do that in my head. 2 times 4/13 is 8/13 plus 0 is 8/13. Okay, so our next item is we want to get a 1 here. Now, you can do this in a couple different steps. I could multiply everything by the reciprocal, but I'm first just going to multiply the second row by 13 to get rid of those fractions. So 13 times row 2, and that'll give us our new row 2. Well, first one remains as is. 13 times 0 is 0. 13 times that gives me 81. 13 times that gives me 8. Okay, and we're still trying to get a 1 here. Well, if I take everything in that row divided by 81, so I'll take row 1 divided by 81, gives me my new, did I say row 1? I lied to you. Row 2 divided by 81 gives us our new row 2. Okay, so 0 divided by 81 is 0. 81 divided by 81 is 1. 8 divided by 81 is 81st. Okay, last thing. That right there, by the way, is REF. That's row echelon form. And we could kick out of that right now and put them back into X's and Y's and use backward substitution to solve it. But it's just as easy to continue on. And we need to get a 0 here. So you look at the 1 and you ask yourself, what times this 1 that then added to this would give me a 0? Well, that's 5/13. 5/13 times row 2 and add that to row 1 gives us our new row 1. The second row remains as is. Okay. 5/13 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. 5/13 times 1 is 5/13 plus a negative 5/13 gives me 0. 5/13 times 8 over 81 and add that to 4/13. That's just nice. That gives us 40 over 13 times 81. Now we want to get a common denominator. So if I multiply this by 81, then that'll give us common denominator. We also have to multiply the top part by 81. Let's see, 81 over 13, 3, 2, 4, 0, 8, 1, 3, 5, 10, 53. And multiply those together and I get 324. That gives us 364 over 1053. What if that's right? It's pretty nasty if it is. 324, 81, 3, 2, 4, 0, 8, 1, 3, 5, 10, 1053. Boy, I hate when I'm doing it by hand to go to the calculator, but I'm drawing a blank on what they're both divisible by. Bottom one's divisible by 3, but top one isn't. So let me go and plug this in my calculator. I hate cheating like that. I do 5 divided by 13 times 8 over 81. 8 divided by 81. Close parentheses. Plus 4/13. Enter, math enter. 28 over 81. Assuming I didn't make a math error somewhere, this actually converts or simplifies that. What I did is I just plugged this directly into my calculator. So that'd be 28 over 81. Now, this would be our x, and this would be our y. It's the order of the variables in the problem. So our answer is 28 over 81, comma, 8 over 81. 28 over 81, 8 over 81's B as in Bill. Hated to cheat like that, but I just was not seeing it.